What's up, guys? Paulie Malignaggi, Paulie TV. Real quick thought, man. I'm thinking about this announcement this week. Or now, man, I guess it's not this week necessarily, but people are starting to talk more and more about it. The Times Square card. Turki Al-Sheikh doing in Manhattan in Times Square. You know what? One of the issues we've had with Middle East is maybe not as much of an atmosphere as the Western stadiums, as Western arenas and whatnot. And for one thing, I'll say Bitter Beer and Bevo 2 in the smaller arena, I felt like had a better atmosphere. So I think that's a step in the right direction. But I also like this. I gotta be honest with you, man. I'm hearing. Listen, it's gonna be a little bit messy because I'm hearing they're not gonna charge for tickets, so it'll just be outdoors. But I think it's cool as hell. I mean, people will. I think the fighters will get a lot of promotion for it. I mean, 3 solid fights at the top headliner at the top, starting with Teofimo against Barboza, which is a really solid fight boxing wise. You got Haney against JC Ramirez. You know, Haney likes to fight guys that are a little bit past their best, but Ramirez has enough left to say, you know, it's doable. Plus, we want to see Haney coming back after the defeat, the fake defeat to Ryan Garcia. But also in Manhattan, where, you know, a young crowd likes to hang out and likes to commiserate in Times Square and whatnot. To put Ryan Garcia there, you know, I know you're probably not going to get a lot of all of them are not going to all necessarily be boxing fans, but you got enough good boxing fans that'll probably show up. And also Ryan Garcia he's what's the word I'm looking for? He crosses over. You know, he crosses over with the youth crowd and then the non-boxing crowd, and you put him there too. I think it's going to generate a lot of people showing up. Also, maybe a little awkwardness. Ryan and Devin on the same card. A little bit of spice there, being that they're on court together. You know, you could maybe get some of that going on the promotional level, in the press conferences, maybe even the weigh-in. I'm sure there'll be a cool weigh-in. I'm sure. Listen, I'm not involved with the shows. I don't know, but I'm sure the weigh-in will be cool outdoors in Times Square. Could you imagine that? That would be wild. You know, I just think, you know, I think of like my own career, and I would have loved to have been a part of something like this as a fighter, you know. So I'm really, really happy for the fighters involved. Obviously, I think they're getting paid good. I'm happy that the fans don't have to pay for this. This is cool as hell. I don't know about on TV if it's pay-per-view or whatnot. I don't have all the details. These are just some quick thoughts in my head about this card. Not charging is great. It'll make some crazy mayhem as far as Manhattan will be concerned. And it's on a Friday. Friday rush hour in New York is absolutely the worst one. I'm not going to say it's the worst place in the world, but for me personally, as a New Yorker who grew up in New York, I know how bad Friday rush hour is in New York. This will probably add to it, but you know what? It's going to be a cool event, bro, because everybody's there. Friday, I mean, everybody's in the city. The city's popping. To have a card like this and not charge for it at the live event is going to be pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting. And, you know, maybe some of the people in those big buildings, you know, they get a bird's eye view from the top, bring you binoculars, and you get a top over the top view. Just something unprecedented, something cool. I've always been a fan of outdoor fights. I know they're tough to pull off. Hopefully they have a ring canopy that's big enough in case it rains, because, you know, it could rain. I hated what I saw at Usyk versus Dubois a couple of years back. You know, I thought a wet ring really screws with your footwork if you're a footwork fighter. So, you know, hopefully they take care of all that. They have all that under control, because, you know, in the Middle East it doesn't rain, but I mean, in the U.S. and Vegas it doesn't rain much either. But in New York you could run into a rainy day. But I really like this card, man. I'll be honest. I like the fights. I like the idea. I like not charging people. And you know what? We were talking about atmosphere. I think you'll get an atmosphere there. I really do think, man. Let me know what you think about this card. The matchups. I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's just a cool situation. I think it's really cool. I'm curious about it. What everybody else thinks about it. Who knows? Maybe if it works out well, we'll do it again. And it's on a Canelo fight week, right? Isn't Canelo fighting Skull the next night? He usually has a May date. That next day, which is a Saturday night, that first May of the year, that first Saturday in May, I'm saying that's first Saturday of the month in May is always a Canelo fight night, or has become that for a while. I'm assuming Canelo versus Skull is probably going to get scheduled around there, because I think Canelo also has a deal with Turki Al-Sheikh. So I'm not sure, but either way, crazy fight weekend. If it is that way, I guess the media will have to figure out how to go from New York to Vegas in time to see the next night's fight. Either way, I like this. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm Paulie Malignaggi. This is Paulie TV.